Okay, we're good. So we're gonna be doing a sketchbook tour. I got my sketchbook here, and I also have one of my older sketchbooks. I'm using like the webcam, so the quality isn't amazing, but it works pretty well. I really like these spirals. So these kind of all started out from me singing Across the Spider-Verse, and then just like my mind being blown, and I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. This kind of drawing, and like as you can see, it was like just like kind of frenzy. My brain was just like, hey, let's just like draw. So I like drew like some Spider-Man. They're like not amazing, but I'm like, hey, what if I do, because a lot of the sketchbooks in Across the Spider-Verse, like sketches by Miles Morales, were like super cool, and like, well, like the composition and stuff and setup of everything was just like really cool. So I was like, what if I do it with my own characters? So I started with this one. This is Ice. So I have a story called Tanuki Hero, and the story is about like a group of friends that go up against demons and shadows of another realm and use nostalgic accessories to do so. So like for Ice Luigi, his nostalgic accessory is a Guitar Hero guitar, and he plays it kind of like a bard and uses it to fight against the demons, just kind of playing riffs, and the riffs like create energy that blasts like demons away and stuff. It's kind of taking inspiration from Ultron and Power Rangers, and I guess like some like animes and stuff, like action fighting animes, and yeah, so I thought it would be a cool idea. So I started with Ice, and then after that I drew Mephiles, and he's kind of the dad of the group. He uses a Nintendo Power Glove, even though he's a big fan of Sega. But his dad gave him a Nintendo Power Glove when he was younger, and it gets imbued with magical energy, and he can use that in his fights against demons and shadows of another realm. And then the person after that is Toad, and he is based on my brother. He's a huge fan of like Nintendo and stuff, and he has a Game Boy as his secret item, and he also has like double jump shoes, so he can do double jumps kind of like in video games. And his Game Boy kind of acts like a Tamagotchi, or like summoning like a familiar, and that familiar can help him in battle. Then there's Toast, and this is one of my favorite pages. Toast is based on one of my cousins, and he loves like Star Wars and boba and cats. He has a pet cat named Kimchi, and he has a Virtual Boy VR headset, and then he also has a D&D dice that has magical powers that he can use, and when he rolls the dice it does different things like within the world of the game, so it's pretty cool. Oh hey Buster, thanks so much. I'm glad you're able to stop by. Yeah, I had the idea to use the webcam as like a top-down cam to show off my sketchbook, so yeah, I wanted to try it out. So that's Toast, and I just wrote like little things like that they say, or like little moments in the story. Oh yeah, he also wears Heelys, because this story is kind of banking hard on like 80s nostalgia and like 90s, and I guess kind of early 2000s, because all of the items that they use are pretty like retro nostalgic, except for Mini. So this is Mini Beast, and his character has, right now it's 2 Joy-Cons. I thought about like hey, we might be able to do it in a different way that's not so like high tech, because Joy-Cons aren't very retro. Though the Switch has been around for quite a while now. But I thought it'd be cool if they're kind of like little lightsabers, but more daggers. And some of them are like pickaxes, so he has like two like separate Joy-Cons that make like these little tiny like ice picks, so he can like climb up buildings and stuff like that to attack. It's like tons of boss fights and like these big giant demons. And yeah, also like with Mephilus's design, he's my friend that designed like some of the characters like Minnie and his character and Ice and stuff. He had like ears since he was Mini Beast, so maybe he has like a beanie that has ears. I thought that'd be a cool way to still include that idea, you know, a little bit. And then this is Fox. He was in a couple, so a lot of these characters are based on some guys I had a YouTube channel with. We were called the Tanuki Toad team, and that's why the story is called Tanuki Hero. And yeah, so this is Fox. He loves the PlayStation and like anime like Naruto and Dragon Ball Z and stuff. So I wanted to go on those kind of vibes, have him have like this headband. The headband's gonna have some type of kanji. And his power is still to be determined. I was thinking it would be cool to do something kind of like related to like ninjas and stuff, since he likes Naruto and like kind of like super intense, something like PlayStation. Maybe like he like shoots like a burst of like some like Kamehameha, but it's like the square, triangle, and X and circle of the PlayStation or something. I don't know. I thought that would be cool though to try that out. But a lot of things are just like in flux and change. This is Bacon Slug, and his character is kind of like inspired by like army and stuff, and he has like bacon strap, like bacon what are they're called, like kind of like shoulder lapels or some shoulder something, but they're like bacon. And he really likes strawberries, so that comes from this story. We were visiting him, so all these are based on like real people, and we were visiting. Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, I really like how that profile shot turned out, because I wanted to like kind of capture like that anime or manga type feel. But we were visiting him, and we were like, it was like kind of around when my brother Toad just first got his Switch, and we were like hooking it up and stuff, and like, hey, like Toad was like, hey, like we should have you play Celeste, which is like a game that Down plays on stream sometimes. And in the game, you like collect strawberries, and when Bacon was playing it, he just like tried so hard to collect every strawberry, and he's like, no, I need to collect the strawberries. And it just kind of stuck with me as something, so I wanted to include that little moment in the story, being like, hey, Bacon really likes strawberries. And yeah, and he's Toast's brother, so he's like Bacon and Toast. And his power is kind of a mystery. Can't spoil it. It comes later in the story. This is Sergeant Tacos. I made like some Legend of Zelda videos with him playing. Well, actually those were on his channel, so not many people have seen. We played 4-player Ocarina of Time. So with him, I wanted to include some type of like multiplying ability, like splitting into 4. He plays the guitar, and he's kind of a bard as well, but also just some things with like multiplying abilities and stuff and glitches, because he was really good at like playing. We played Ocarina of Time, and he just knows all the glitches and like shortcuts and hacks and stuff like that. So, and like modding, and he has a little taco where like the pocket should be. I would love to like see this as an actual sweater. That'd be so cool, like a hoodie with like a little taco pouch. I think that'd be super cool. But yeah, and there might be some things with like fairies and stuff, since he's a lot inspired by like Legend of Zelda. He also really likes Minecraft, so may include some stuff. This is his brother Grape. He was only in a couple of our videos, but he's a super cool guy, and his name was Mutated Grape, and I thought it'd be interesting to make his power be like Kool-Aid grenades. You know, like those Kool-Aid, I thought they were called Kool-Aid jammers, but I think that's the drink mix. But it's like the Kool-Aid thing that you have like the little pop top that you go, and it like, so basically you can throw those, and gives a giant pack of like explosive Kool-Aid. And he really likes like juice boxes and stuff, so he's often sipping on a juice box. This is their other brother, so there's 3 brothers. Cheese, his name is Corporal Cheese. He was probably in a couple of videos on the Tanuki Hero team, and I don't know if I figured out a power for him. I'll have to check my notes, but I thought it'd be cool if he has, I didn't really draw it here, but kind of like wedges of cheese as like his armbands, and he's really into like art and stuff too. This was really cool. I drew it kind of off Voltron. I like how it turned out. I had in here like Magic 8-Ball. We'll see if I use that. It's interesting figuring out the like quote unquote magic system for this, and just how all the items work. Basically there's like this star that shoots across the sky, and it like enchants or imbues all of these items with an otherworldly power. And this is Joker X, and from way back in the day, Buster, you probably remember some of the videos with Joker, but Joker's character is kind of inspired by like clowns and stuff, and Mephiles had designed a character for him, but I do not really like clowns, so that I hope I can find the sketch somewhere so people can see it. It's really cool. But when I was a kid, I was like, I don't really want to know if we should use that. It's a little creepy, but it's super cool. And I'm gonna see if I can find it. But his power is like a deck of cards, kind of like Gambit from the X-Men. And I think it's Gambit. I haven't seen like any X-Men stuff, but I know he uses like, there's a character that uses like a deck of cards. So it's kind of like that. And he's a pretty buff guy too. And he's a trickster. He's kind of like the comic relief a little bit sometimes. And this is the story that I read on my last stream. I read the first chapter. And this is Wilbur. He was a character that came later on. And he's kind of a surprise character. But he's the milkman, and he loves Super Nintendo. He's based on my brother. My brother has autism and really loves like VHS tapes and like rewinding things and like watching them over and stuff. So I thought it'd be interesting to have some type of rewind mechanic with like time manipulation or something. He also really likes oatmeal, but at the beginning of the story, he is the milkman, and he delivers milk all around the city. And this story kind of takes place in like a version of Vancouver currently. So he's the last character. So there's 12 characters of Tanuki Hero, and yeah, I've started writing the first. I have 4 chapters out, and I'm working on the 5th one right now. So been pretty cool. And I started doing this thing for Xander. He's a OC from another story, and there's Finn.